ChatGPT o1 preview and mini are two exciting new things in the right now, the paid version of ChatGPT. Just don't want to talk about this so people could decide, should I upgrade the $20 for it? But it's interesting because it's doing some of what we teach in our class of chain of thought prompting. You have to provide all the data to it. It doesn't let you upload. It still has, I guess, what is it? 2023 is its
October
most recent.
2023.
Is that it? Yeah. So you're providing the data to it. You can't upload a PDF or anything else. But it is impressive in the right context.
And this is a big jump from 4.0, which was impressive in itself. And again, chain of thought, it just what that does is allows it to break down complex tasks into smaller bits, smaller processes. And so this is important because it's using deep reasoning and problem solving more so than any other model we've seen at this point. That's important because it's going to allow it to provide more accurate and reliable outputs. And so this is important because, as far as benchmarks go, it outperforms previous versions and things like math and science, which were some of the complaints with earlier models. Also, with scientific situations and scenarios, it shows a lot of improvement. Another area that we've seen improvement with the O1 preview, especially, is programming, which is already a hot topic right now because some people claim that programming is the next job market that's going to be have displacements in it and going to be wrecked by this. I don't think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see a lot of enhancement and augmentation, such as a startup company that just built essentially a chat GPT for programming. So it's really going to enhance the coding and programming with the level that it's at. This is just more a good example of how quickly these models are advancing. I've heard that the O1 preview, O1 mini are supposed to be equivalent to a human IQ of 120, which is incredibly impressive. Now, again, the limitation here is that the better the prompt and the more open-minded the prompt engineer, the better you're going to get out of these models. So again, you really need to invest in your skills in prompt engineering and awareness, but it does take some of the work out as far as having to really think about, what format do I need this, chain of thought, do I have to tell it that it's already operating off of it? So that takes some steps out that will help. And I think individuals who are getting into it now with models like this are going to have a much better experience than those who kind of grew up through the older models and had to develop different techniques from there.
An analogy to me is ChatGPT is like something that's really, really smart and fast, but just gives you a snap answer. It doesn't take the time to go over the question, give you an answer, spend some time verifying it several levels and make sure, is this the best answer? And that's why this is better at solving word problems and others, because that snap answer, as simple as the famous how many R's are in strawberry, and traditionally large language models couldn't get that answer. This one can. It does show a chain of thought, but apparently it's not what it's really doing in the background. It's more to demonstrate it's going through stages. I think that I call that more of a party stunt than what's really happening. But because of that, it tends to be more accurate. And I've done it where I gave it a training program I did, and I wanted to see what a short training program would look like. And I was very impressed with what it did. I said, "Oh, I have this criteria. I want it this much time. Here's the entire outline of the program. And I want you to show me what that would look like if I was offering it in this much time interval."
And for those who are grumbling about the fact that you can't attach a document, I understand. One way that you can work around that is if you understand what you want and you can articulate it, you can still use 4.0 in a thread or a conversation, however you want to approach that. And you can attach documents. And then once you have an output and you have some organized, you can go up to the upper left-hand corner and switch the model to O1 preview and work from it from there. So there are some workarounds there that honestly don't take but a few seconds. And so really it's more, I think, out of convenience that people want to be able to insert it right into O1. But for under 10 seconds, that's a pretty easy workaround.
Yeah. And we want to hear, how have you used it? If you're using it, what do you like? Now, Justin, you found the mini sometimes works better
Mhm.
than the preview, even. You've been testing it in all types of business applications.
Funny enough, some larger outputs where I'm looking at long-term planning or standard operating procedures, SOPs, I've found that Mini is much more detailed, which Mini is supposed to be the faster model, and it was faster, but I've started using Mini a lot more, and the more I compare them, they're both very useful, but Mini's been my go-to.
Excellent. Put your comments below of how you've been using these, if you like them, if you don't, what works, where the limitations is. We want to hear from you. And remember to click subscribe and the bell so you'll see future videos. This is Martin Brossman and
Dr. Justin Rose.